also plays a really challenging style of defense. Are there overlaps or similarities between what you had to prepare for on Monday that will help you as well here tomorrow?
I would say just pressing wise, Oakland didn't press too much, but I think when you look at what Oakland did defensively, whether it was a 2-3, whether it was a 1-3-1, or what we thought is a 1-1-3, you don't really see that a lot with A&M, but I think the way A&M's physicality, the way they rebound, the way they try to speed you up is something that, we've been preparing for, and I think Oakland helped us prepare for that. But I think the biggest thing for us is just to be able to limit them to one possession, one shot each possession, and then to be able to rebound offensively for us is an advantage, and then also keeping them off the old boards is something that we have to emphasize, and we've talked about the last few days.
Dale, what have you seen in preparing for what kind of challenge they're going to give you tomorrow?
They're very physical. They're a very talented team, just how we are. They're gonna come in here and try to play their best game, so we gotta be prepared for tomorrow and just play hard.
Jamison, how would you evaluate your first performance? I know getting on the boards was huge in terms of this offseason goals. I felt like you did that in the opener. What would you say your evaluation was?
Yeah, I think it was a good game. Obviously, I think as a team, there's a lot more things that we can do, focus on those things. And I think that's what we've kind of honed in on these last 2 days. And for me, obviously, getting on the boards is something that was looking to improve on. And then also defensively, I think there's still things that I can do. And then obviously shot making, made a few shots, but to go out there and just to play my game and to be part of this team and just help this team contribute to it, and I felt like I helped with that. But I think there's still more things that I can do, even more to propel us to another level.
And then Dale, for you, what was your takeaway from your first game with these guys?
It was exciting. We got the win, and that's the most important thing. Individually, I didn't really hit any shots or anything, but I had a couple assists and got some rebounds. And, I was just happy that we won.
This is for both of you guys. Just obviously, you guys are both new players here, but what is having someone like a Roddy Gale or a Bruce Thornton, just someone that's been through a tough season last year? What does that do for you guys, kind of coming in for the first game for Ohio State?
Yeah, I think you talked about it. Just having those two guys and having guys who have been here, understanding what they went through and understanding what Ohio State is. I think us as fifth years, we can come in and be leaders as well with what we've experienced in college. We've been different places, we've seen different people, we've seen different leagues, but they've been at Ohio State for a year, and they kind of understand what Coach Holtman wants and what the coaching staff wants. So we're learning from them as well, even as fifth years, and I think that's something that's really cool. It's a two-way street that you can lead them, but they can also help us. And I think having those guys, who have faced a year like that, where you don't do as well as you're expected to do, and even for me being in college, haven't had a winning season in college, so I think we have a lot of similarities in that. The fact that we want to go out here and win, we want to go out here and make the tournament, but first we got to take it game by game and just do what we do best, and finding out where we can contribute with each other and how we can contribute to winning.
Just to piggyback on that, they're two very talented college players. Just trying to get after it every day, and anytime we see anything going on in the game or practice that we can help each other. Me being an older guy, we just try and talk and just be there for each other. They're very talented, like I said.
Yeah, and then I guess conversely, how are you guys helping out maybe some of the younger guys like Scotty Middleton or Devin Royale throughout the first couple of weeks of practice?
Just continue to be confident. You got to believe in yourself and believe that you're here for a reason. Coach Holtman didn't recruit them for any reason, or Coach Holtman didn't bring them in, not to have confidence and just be themselves. So just continue to be themselves and have fun out there.
Yeah, I think like what Dale said, just to help them through the challenges of freshman year and just to be there for them. And I think like I said, we've experienced a lot of things in college and we have a lot of knowledge in that aspect. So just having an open line of communication, talking with them if they have any issues, how can we help, or if we've had similar issues, how have we dealt with them? And I think like Dale said, just instilling confidence in them is something that you want to do as an older guy, because you've been there as a freshman where it's like, okay, maybe I'm not playing too much, or maybe I missed a few shots, whereas you want those older guys just to be there and support you. And I think that's something that me and Dale have embraced, and I think a lot of guys on this team have embraced regardless of age. And I think that's what's so beautiful about it, just in the fact that I'm 22 years old, and I tell you, I feel like a 20-year-old on this team, and that's kind of what I love about it, just because with these guys, the relationships that we have, it's a very special group, and it's hopefully a group that can do big things here in the future.
You guys played some high-level ball against some really high-level teams in your careers. Is there any, as you prepared for A&M, anything that they remind you of, or any previous challenges that maybe flash down memory lane as you were starting preparing for these guys as you watched them on film?
Like I said earlier, you know, they're very talented. Most of them have played together. It's just another, you know, tough battle. I think we'll be ready. They're a good team, but we're also a good team too. So, you know, it's just another game that we're looking forward to play.
No, I agree with that. With that, you know, you play a lot of teams in college, you play a lot of good players, but you know, it's individual challenges present themselves with new teams that you play. You know, obviously, never playing Texas A&M before. You see similarities in past teams, but you know, they do a lot of things differently, and they do a lot of things physicality-wise that you know, in 5 years I haven't seen. So there's stuff that we have to hone in on, and focus on those little details, like I said. So I'm excited for the challenge ahead. Obviously, coming here should be a good environment against the top 15 team in the country, and I think we'll be ready tomorrow.
Dale, you talked about your impact on the game, even if you didn't make a shot. And looking at the lineups, like the two most prolific lineups you were part of, and I wonder how you felt you made an impact on a game where the offense was clearly working well, and things were going well here in the court, but you didn't make any shots.
You know, whether I'm making shots or not, you know, I'm gonna give my best effort out there. I'm gonna try and fly around, do all the dirty work. You know, get my teammates involved, get in the paint. You know, just look for them to make easy shots if I'm not making shots. So I'm gonna just continue to do that, and you know, just try and be the best on defense and just fly around.
You talked a little bit about the challenge defensively that Texas A&M presents, but specifically their guards, Dale. What challenges do they present on both sides of the ball?
Both sides of the ball, you know, they fly around just how our guards do. You know, offensively, they're not afraid to take, you know, crazy shots or anything like that. You know, they're not going to worry about making or missing. And most of the guards also rebound too, other than their point guard a little bit, but you know, their twos and threes wings, they'll fly in there and try and get rebounds as well. So, you know, a lot of our guys, we just gotta try and get in there and be physical as well.
For both of you guys, you've been around college basketball a long time. What can you take away from a game this early in the season against a ranked opponent? And I mean, sometimes the ranks at this point don't really matter. So, like, how do you delineate between what matters and what doesn't for a game like this?
Yeah, I think you got to look at it. Every game matters in its own right, and there's things that we got to improve on from our last game, but there's things that we're looking to do this game that may be different than last game. So I think, you know, you take it day by day, you take it game by game, not looking too far ahead, but to prepare you for the conference we're in, the Big Ten. It's physical, it's brute, it's probably one of the best leagues in the country, if not the best. So it'll prepare us in that aspect, and it'll prepare us for games in March, for games in February, when it comes down to it, the nitty gritty, and the fact that, you know, those games are going to matter in the end. Obviously, this game matters just as much as those, but when you're in the Big Ten, when you're in the grind of the season, it becomes maybe redundant. You're doing the same things every day, but you know, a game like this prepares you for that and prepares you for the challenges that you're going to face later on in the season.
What would you say, Dale?
Just to piggyback on what Jamison said, you know, every game does matter, but you know, playing a ranked team will help us in the long run down the stretch. You know, getting ready for Big Ten play. So another good game.
Yeah, what kind of personal crowd did you have? You talked about, you know, coming back to Ohio and you know, playing your first game in Ohio State. What kind of presence did you have in the arena on Monday?
It was a good presence. You know, my family was able to come. Took like 2 hours a year, so I was happy to see them. You know, just be back home. It felt good.
And for both of you, yesterday was National Signing Day, or the start of, you know, signing period. I wonder, you both had different journeys to get to the point. What do you remember about your signing day experiences?
Yeah, I remember, you know, it was at Bealisle High School back in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was there with my buddy Tyrell Terry, who committed to Stanford, signed to Stanford. You know, we'd been dreaming of that moment for a while, playing freshman AAU basketball with him at DU in Minnesota. So, you know, it's something that you talk about and something that you dream of as a high school kid, as a middle school kid, you know, signing to play college basketball. And then you sign, and then that's when the work just starts. You still got to finish your high school season, and then once you get here in the summer, once you get on campus, it's all over. It starts all over again. You got to grind and you got to make your way up. And I think both of us can attest to that. We've been through different journeys than most players and most people, but I think it's in the journey. Like it's in the journey where you find beauty in the struggle. Obviously, there's different times that you struggle or you have different things that go on, but it's how you respond out of those hardships and those challenges to get to the point where you're at now.
What was your day like?
Oh man, that was a long time ago now, but it was a good day. I was the only one on my team at the time that sign, but I was just grateful, you know, to be going to college. That was my only offer. So, a little different story for me, but, you know, I was just happy to be going to college and being able to play at the next level. That was the biggest thing for me. And, you know, it was a dream come true, so I was happy.
Hey, guys.
Thanks, guys.